All right, so I've got you on screen, Arnold, along with the game I've just opened up here. Why don't we do first? Let's do a quick run through of some of the basic rules, and then I'll actually play through a round of here, and you can make fun of how good or not so good I play the first deck here.
Okay, so the basic rules of the game. So the game basically evolves around playing a solitaire style dungeon crawler, and you have to crawl through the whole deck of 54 cards. And each card is basically a item, a monster, a treasure, a healing potion, or a weapon sorts, basically. And you can use those items to actually fight the monsters. You can have stuff in your backpack. Those are the slots on the bottom row of the screen. And each round, you have to at least remove 3 cards from the upper row, which is called the dungeon card row. And if you have removed 3 of the 4 dungeon cards, you get 3 new ones. They are basically shuffled in the deck, and you just walk through the dungeon by playing the cards. And if you are good enough to complete the deck, you basically have a high score system. And the high score system is based on the gold cards, the coin cards that you can collect. And also, there's this little shop box on the top right next to the dealer, which you can sell stuff to. You can sell item cards to it. And for the item cards, you get the value of the card in gold. So you can actually collect more gold than the coin cards in the deck. So your high score gets bigger. And then the most interesting, I would say, part of the game are the special cards or the ability cards. So we have like 30 ability cards in the game that you can unlock. And each game you get 5 ability cards also shuffled randomly into the deck. And these ability cards do almost like you can compare that really easily to Magic or Hearthstone, where those special cards really do things that changed the game quite a lot. So a lot of these ability cards change card values, change cards themselves. You can also have ability cards that are changing while you're playing. For example, one ability card is sacrificed, where you make damage with the card that is basically your heals missing. So if you're up to full heals, the card is very weak, and if you're getting weaker, your player gets weaker, then the card gets stronger. Stuff like this, basically.
Nice. Well, okay, so my first task here is to play 3 of these 4 cards so I can get the next shuffle. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my coins here and get the 6 points off the 4 and the 2 coins. And I'm going to go ahead and take the 6 damage from the incubus here. Okay, and we'll draw our next. There we go. We got the potion. Oh, and there's the Soul Eater, my 10-point Soul Eater early on.
Right.
So let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and take my 5 potion, get back to 12, and I'll grab the shield here. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and take the 4 damage from the Soul Eater early on and leave the crow there. So
Right.
now
What
I'm.
what
Oh, go
maybe
ahead.
is yeah, what maybe also is interesting in terms of design. So the deck itself is a fixed deck. All cards in this game are basically balanced against each other and also in relation to the player life, so that you can complete a game without having the ability cards. But obviously, the ability cards make the game a little bit easier. So there are some quests where you, for example, have to play without ability cards. So it is possible, but it's not that easy as if you play with ability cards. But basically, the interesting part about the game also is that once you play, you get a feeling for the distribution of monster and item cards in the deck. And it gets easier, obviously, the more you play. But then from that point on, you actually start making better high scores because you can see the risk, where the risk in the deck is, and you can, like, a little bit of card counting is also helpful if you know that the
Yeah,
big monsters are gone and there are only small monsters, and you can play more risky, or you can
right.
yeah do more crazy stuff,
So
basically.
here's our first ability card here, exchange, and so I'm hovering over that, and it says that I can move a dungeon card back into the deck and replace it with one of my ability cards. So I'm actually going to grab that, throw it in my backpack for later. We'll take the coin here for 3 more points and go to 9. And I've got no choice but to take 3 damage from one of these crows, leaving me at 5. Okay, good, good, good. All right, so I can go back to. I don't want to use 10 of my potion here because that'll be wasteful because I only am missing
Right. Yeah.
8. So I'm going to grab the 6 potion, go to 11, and then I like getting rid of the big guys. So we'll take the spider for the 8, and we'll go back to 7 with the potion.
So was also just commenting a little bit more on the design maybe, but because I think that's interesting for your students also is that
Yeah.
so I've added very late in my prototyping phase I added this rule that you cannot remove cards from your hand slots. So that means if you pick up something, a shield or a sword or a potion,
So I can use it against one of the
yeah,
two, but I can't discard it. I can't
right.
get rid of it. I
Correct.
haven't.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you have this small kind of inventory management system also inside the game, which can screw up your turns sometimes, but it's also obviously part of the fun where you have to think about if you pick this sword up and in the next round you have something that you also would like to pick up, but you can't play the sword. Is that yeah, interesting, or is it not helping you in the next round, which is another interesting decision, I think.
And see, and here's a key rule. So I grabbed that potion and I drank the potion because I didn't put it in my backpack. I put it immediately into one of my hands. But now that slot is used for the rest of this turn because I drank the potion. But
Yeah, right.
when I use my sword here and we'll take out the goblin, that opens that hand up again, which allows me to then take the shield and move to the next draw. So we're at 32. We're not quite halfway. Here's a fun one. Lash. I like this one. Attack between 1 and 3 monster cards for 3. Okay, so now we're kind of in a tough. Alright, so I can take the 3 damage from the slime by using my 2 shield there. And then let's go ahead and grab the sword. And then do I want to take the lash or do I want to take the other sword? I'm going to take the lash. Alright. Now I'm gonna have to discard at this point because I've got to get rid of 3 here.
Yeah,
So let's see. I don't like using my 6 sword on the 4 fire lamb. I can
right.
I can take the damage there. That takes me down to 2. Unfortunately, now I'm gonna have to exchange. I can discard from there, and that's coming from my backpack. Let's see. Will it? There we go. I just had to get it right there on the shop.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to take my sword, and this is going to give me 3 points. So the ability card was just discarded, but when I put my sword in the backpack and go up there, that's going to give me 3 points, 12, and since I'm at 2, let's grab that potion. We might need that. Oh, geez. Soul Eater time.
So there's one additional mechanic also, which is interesting. You can redraw cards actually. So on the left side, you have this small button where it says redraw, and then you have a minus X point life. So and I
Yeah.
think the first one is 5 or 7
Yes.
actually,
5. Yep.
and then it adds up each time you
Yeah.
reuse it. But you can only redraw cards either if you have enough life, right? Because the redrawing can kill you,
Right.
or you have not moved any of the dungeon cards, the top 4 cards. So this is always interesting. If you struggle with too many monsters in this turn, you can always try to sacrifice some life for continuing the crawl,
Now, I
basically.
believe we're looking good here because I believe there's only 2 Soul Eaters in the deck. And so I'm halfway through the deck, but I've got both Soul Eaters dealt with here. So we'll
Yeah.
take the 1 damage there. We'll grab the sword, and let's get 8 more points. All right. I'm feeling pretty good here. Okay, here's Leech. Leech is good. So this allows you get to attack for 3, and you get 3 life back. So that's really nice, and that's perfect because I can take my sword against the goblin here, knock him down to 3, and then kill him and get 3 life back. And let's take a shield. All right, we're working through the deck pretty good here. All right. Ah, nice. 7-point shield. We'll knock that down. So now we've got 3, and let's go 7 coins. So I'm at 27. Knocking the... Oh, there's a third Soul Eater. This is a nasty
Yes.
deck.
I
All right.
wouldn't. I don't want to spill the surprise yet.
All right. Well, I'm going to have to take that 7 damage here, so we'll do that. And then we'll go ahead and potion back to 7. And there's my nice 10 coin pointer there, so 37
Yes,
points.
that's the biggest coin card.
Killing Blow. Now, what's nice here is Killing Blow. So if you are able to damage, then that takes the rest of it down. So if you have like that whip I had earlier, I think it's called Lash,
Hmm.
that only lashes for 1 to 3 points, but then if you can combine that with Killing Blow, that's a great way to take things out.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, so here we got 9. That's going to take me down to 1. Oh boy, we better hope to get some potion here, or we're in trouble. 10 potion, very nice. 10 potion and perfect here. 5 sword on my 5 slime. 9 more points. Going to take me to 52. And we're led here to just a couple more draws. Oh.
Yeah, right. And another interesting thing I think is that, for example, as you made a good example because you can combine ability cards, and you
Yes.
have this second mode, which is called constructed mode, in which you can actually select 5 of the ability cards that you have unlocked, and then play them in combination. So, and this is where the real pro high scoring comes from. If you can, or if you know how you combine certain ability cards in combination with scoring cards or cards that
Okay.
can double values or raise values, and you can get up to almost 200 gold. I saw already.
Okay, so I'm going to be able to finish this, but it's going to take a little bit of creativity. So we've got no cards left, but I've got to deal with these 3 cards. I've got my 4 health plus 2 shield puts me at 6, which means I cannot take the troll, but I have lots of potion left here. Unfortunately, what I'd love to do is to be able to take that 9 potion into my backpack and get the 9 points for it, but I'm not going to be able to do that because 4 plus 2 shield plus 3 potion is that 9 troll, and I would die. So I'm going to have to
Yeah.
use the 9 potion, but I can't because my hand's full, but I've got sap here. So I'm going to use sap to push the troll back. That opens up my hand and allows me to grab my 9 potion, which puts me right back at 13. And then I'm actually going to move Killing Blow over here so that I can grab my 3 potion here and get the 3 points. As you'd mentioned earlier, the rule is, unfortunately, I can't move my shield. What I'd love to do is
Yeah.
actually move my shield to the backpack, get the extra 2 points for that, and go to 62. But
Yeah.
instead, we'll just have to take the troll damage. And there we go. 60 points. That's not bad. It's not my
Yeah,
high.
that's
It's
good.
not my highest score.
Yeah,
Hello, guys.
but it's cool. So
Here, yeah.
the base the minimum score if you only collect coin cards is 54, and everything above 54 basically also nets you some extra gold as a bonus because you did better than
As you
the
can see
minimum.
here, I was getting ready for you this morning. What's my high so far? 66. That looks to be my nope. 74. 80. That's right.
Oh,
80.
yeah, that's good.
Okay, so I have to tell you how I got the 80. I had Steel, and so Steel is an ability card that if your backpack is free, you play the ability card Steel. The next card in your deck goes into your backpack. I actually got a Soul Eater into my backpack.
Yeah,
So that
right.
was 10 bonus points and a Soul Eater that I didn't have to deal with. Be sure to catch the final part of my interview with Arnold Rauers, where we talk about how he uses social media to market his game card crawl and how much money he's been able to make with this game.